on chapter 8, which is page 75. And it's actually really good so far. It did take me a little while to get into. Like, it was kind of a slow start. And as soon as it hit, like, the 50-page mark and where she kind of was, like, she got sent to the place, or it's called, that's when things started to get more interesting. And so I'm intrigued to carry on. And I'm intrigued to see, like, what else happens. But this is a 5-book series. So I don't understand, like, how, you know, what could happen and everything. But, yeah, interesting so far. I'm going to go and read more. And I'll speak to you all soon. Okay, so it's been quite a while later. It's like been a few weeks, but I have recently started picking *Thorns and Roses* back up because I did read up to like page 80 something and then just put it down, and there was no reason for it. It's just I was filming for other videos and stuff, but picked it back up, and I'm 138 pages into this, and I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I do. And let me just preface this, I'm really enjoying it and everything, but I am finding it very hard to keep up with the story sometimes. And I think, you know, I'm not a fantasy reader, but for the pure reason because I find it hard to like keep up with all the information and everything that's happening. But other than that, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm happy that I am. I don't think I'm going to love it as much as everyone else, but I mean, I'm not even that far into it, so we've got quite a while to go. But at the moment, loving it. Farah, she's given like a good character energy, and there was one little scene where I was kind of a little bit like, oh, you're annoying, but she quickly resolved. And then I think it was like 100 pages, I want to say, I was kind of like, who is supposed to be the love interest? Because I've avoided spoilers for this series the whole time. So I was kind of like, who's supposed to be the love interest? Is it Lucian? Is that how you say his name? Or Tamlin? And I think it's Tamlin from what I'm guessing, because Lucian doesn't really like her, whereas Tamlin, they've had some moments, without spoiling it too much because this is obviously spoiler free. So yeah, they've had some moments together and stuff, but don't know, it could take a turn. I hope this doesn't become like a love triangle kind of thing, because that will just ruin the whole thing for me. But yeah, so I think the love interest is Tamlin. I think I've got that down. I was going to do research, but then I was like, I'll end up getting a spoiler and I'm not going to risk it. So I'm just going to keep reading and finding out for myself. But yeah, that is all I've got to say at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. It is quite a slow start, if I must say so myself. Like, I thought it would pick up quicker, but then again, there are 5 books in this series and they're quite thick, so a lot more has got to happen. I think this book is known as like a starter book, where it's just getting you into the world and everything. So yeah, I'm going to now go and continue reading, and I'll give you all an update when I have one. Okay, so it's a few hours later and I'm now on page 255, so I've read quite a lot since the last update. But at the moment, I am really enjoying it. I have kind of like just read it in one sitting, and the only issue I'm having at the moment is 1 minute Tamlin and Farah are like, they don't hate each other, but you know, they're acquaintances. Then all of a sudden, they're falling in love. Like, where's the rest of the story? I feel like I've missed something. I haven't, it's just the, like the way it's been written, I don't know, but otherwise everything else is good. And at the moment, without spoiling too much, Farah has had to go back home, but that's what I'm going to say. Well, I got distracted. So I'm going to read some more. I haven't got much left. I've got this much, left, and I'm gonna see where the story goes, but there's a lot of interesting things happening, although I am still finding it a little bit hard to follow the story. But again, I'm not a fantasy reader normally, but I'm not missing anything important. Like, I'm still understanding what's going on, which is quite shocking, because normally when I read fantasy in the past, no idea what was going on. I felt like I wasn't really reading anything, so this is a different experience. But I'm glad that the first fantasy book I've read is Thorns and Roses, and I'm also kind of getting like the title as well, so that's interesting. But yeah, I'm going to go and read some more now. Okay, so I thought I'd also pop in here because I forgot to also mention that Nesta, I think that's her name, Farah's sister, I do not like her at all. She just gives off that like mean energy. But I have heard people say the same thing about her, but in the last book, A Court of Silver Flames, I think that's like her story, and I've heard people say that like she changes and gets better. But at the moment, I dislike her very much, so I can't even stand to like read her lines or anything. So yeah, anyway, going to continue reading now. Okay, so a couple of days ago I did finish A Court of Thorns and Roses. I just did an update. I didn't really update much while reading it, unfortunately, but I decided to give this 4 stars. It was so enjoyable. I actually really enjoyed it. There's a few twists and stuff, and the ending was so enjoyable. I didn't expect to, like, you know, for it to be that enjoyable. There were some shocking moments and stuff. Her and Tamlin I'm loving so much, and I just found out recently from a review that this series has a love triangle in it, and that's put me off reading the rest. But I did really enjoy this one, so can I really like put it off? I don't know. I feel like the love triangle is going to be between Farah, obviously, Tamlin, and Reese. How do you say it? Rise? Oh my god, I'm gonna get someone to take for that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the last book is about Nesta, and I'm intrigued because I've heard some people say that like she does get better, she does improve. Like, they don't like her throughout the series, which I agree, I don't. But then in that book she has a big change, so I'm very excited to get to the last book. But we have a while for that, so I don't know when I'm going to actually start the second book. But for now, I'm just gonna maybe put this on pause because I've got some other videos I need to film. This video has taken me a lot longer to film than I thought. But yeah, I really enjoyed that book, and so when I read the second one, I'll be back with you all. It is actually like a month later, because you know what I never realised? I never realised that I didn't do an update for A Court of Mist and Fury, and that's very shocking to me because I rated this 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I loved the characters, I just loved the plot of the story, I just loved everything about this, and I don't even remember the last thing I said about it. Absolutely loved this. 5 stars. Resand, wow. And that's all I'm going to say. Tamlin, on the other hand, like, no. Just no. Why was I a fan of Tamlin in the first place? I will never know. I will never go back. So, that is all I've got to say for now. And I've heard that this is more warlike and focuses more on the war. Sorry about the noise. So that's what I'm thinking, and hopefully I'll actually like it, because war things aren't normally my type of books, but I do love the series, so we'll see. Okay, so a little update. I'm now on chapter 12 of A Court of Wings and Ruin. I did start this, I think it was sometime last month, and then I put it down, but I have picked it back up because now I've got to read so many pages a day to finish this, which I'll explain in the morning. But I'm enjoying it so far, and it's getting really good to the point where they're like stuck in like the cold area. That's all I can say. So I'm going to obviously continue reading to see what happens. Okay, so it's been a whole day since. I haven't vlogged all day. The last update I did was quite short because it was late last night, but I have ended up finishing A Court of Wings and Ruin. The thing I said that I wanted to explain was when I started this book the first time, I actually ended up putting it down because I generally didn't have the time to read it. It wasn't the time, and I knew that, and I didn't want to ruin my experience just because it wasn't the time. So I put it down, and then I think it was about a month later, I think that was last month, I obviously picked it back up again because now I need to finish the whole series in, well, it was 4 days at the time, now I've got 2 days, and today was a catch-up day because yesterday I was supposed to read 444 pages. I never did that. I ended up reading 184 pages, and so I was like, I need to finish this whole book today and this one to catch up. But I have just finished this one, and I didn't do any updates during like reading it or anything because I was on a roll. I didn't want to stop, and so I was just reading kind of thing. And I actually really enjoyed this one. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did, to be completely honest. I honestly thought, because it was more based on the war and that's like all I heard about it, I was like, okay, I feel like this is where like the series is going to go downhill for me. But honestly, I actually really enjoyed this one. I've decided to rate it a 4.5 star. No, just feel like nothing can beat A Court of Mist and Fury. I feel like nothing can beat that for me. But this one was actually really interesting considering it's more about the war. But it did also have a bit of romance in it, and that is why I feel like I enjoyed it a little bit more than what I thought, because when people talk about it, they talk about it as there's not really any romance in it and that it's all just about the war. And yes, to be honest, there's less romance in it than the second book because it needs to focus more on the war, but I feel like because the war aspect of it is interesting as well, that's why I liked it. But also because I feel like the war, like this book was needed for the war. Like I just feel like it was meant to be this way. That makes sense. I don't know how to explain it. Like the romance was focused in the second book. That was amazing. And then I feel like this one was like meant to focus on the war bit, and that is how it's like been evened out. Now I'm going to start A Court of Frost and Starlight. This is the little novella. It's 229 pages. I'm hoping to finish it today, or should I say tonight. Then I'm all caught up. I don't know. It's, I think, nearly 10 o'clock. So we'll see how it goes. But I am quite a fast reader. It's only 229 pages. I could do it if I don't get distracted, but I am starting to get a headache, which is surprising because I've been reading pretty much all day. And like this bit isn't part of the book, so it does look thicker than what it really is. But yeah, 229 pages. I do feel like I could get through this quite easily, but this is the one I'm going to start now, and like I said, hopefully I can finish it tonight, because then I will have 2 days to focus on A Court and Silver Flames, and obviously I need 2 days for that because it's the thickest book in the series. That's what I'm going to go and do now. So I've just finished the novella A Court of Frost and Starlight, and to be honest, I did really enjoy this. I'm thinking of rating this a 3.75 star though, just for the pure fact of it's a novella. We could have done without it. I did like it, but I just feel like it wasn't needed. Like, it's not important to the story. You don't have to read it if you don't want to, and you wouldn't be missing anything, but it is a nice addition to have. So 3.75 stars, and it was also obviously quick to read because it's only 229 pages. The next book I will be starting is the last book in the series, which is A Court of Silver Flames, and I believe this is where we start to read about Nesta. Now I'm nervous because in these 4 books she doesn't come off as like a nice person. She also doesn't come off as like someone that you know you want to be around much, but I have heard there's character development, so I'm hoping that eventually I'll start to like Nesta's character. But we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to be starting that one tomorrow. Okay, so yes, I am in the van and I'm just chilling, starting another reading vlog, but I thought I'd end this one because I haven't been doing this reading vlog for a year now, and I know that is absolutely ridiculous. But the first book I started a year ago in March, so actually it's over a year ago now, like a year and 2 months ago, and I finally finished the series this morning actually, but it was way too early because I stayed up all night, so I did end up having some sleep. But oh, the sun is shining in my eyes, it's making it water. But yeah, so I thought I would do a little wrap up of all the books. So A Court of Thorns and Roses, at the time I enjoyed and things, but obviously since you learn what happens and everything, obviously I still really enjoyed the book. I'm not saying because now I've read the others I didn't, but I would say it's an average 4-star. I would definitely say it's important to the story because obviously you see like loads of growth. It's important, it's very important. Then the second book I obviously rated 5 stars. I absolutely love that book and I would highly recommend. This is my favourite book in the series. I just absolutely love it, and I think we all know who I stan. Like, it's like the Tam and Rhys-Anne thing. I think we all knew like what team I'm on, should we say, because I absolutely love this book. Like, it's one of my new favourites. I absolutely love it. And then A Court of Wings of Ruin, I think I'm gonna rate 4.75 stars. I'm not sure if that's what I said before, but I do think that is what my rating is going to be. But because this one was more focused on war, yes, and I honestly didn't think I was going to like it because of that, but I actually really enjoyed this one. And then the little novella, A Court of Frost and Starlight, I am rating 3.5 stars. Obviously, this isn't really important to the story, it's just a little extra thing. So I feel like, yeah, we could have done without it, but it was nice to have. And then finally, A Court of Silver Flames. I haven't done any updates on this one yet. I really enjoyed this. I absolutely love Nesta. I didn't like her throughout the series for obvious reasons, but once you learn her story and everything she's been through, and you start to like her, you also see a lot of growth within her character. And I just feel like I just absolutely love this book. I feel like it was so important, and it was really nice to have her story and see her growth and understand why she was the way she was. And yeah, I just absolutely love Nesta's book, and I'm thinking of rating this. I'm rating this one 4.75 stars, and then A Court of Wings of Ruin I'm rating 4.5 stars. That's what it was. I can't believe I've finally finished this series. It's crazy to me. I absolutely love this series with all my heart, and honestly I didn't think so. And considering it's fantasy, I struggle with fantasy quite a bit. Now I don't know if that's because I listen to them on an audiobook at 3.5 times speed, which will probably explain it, but I do feel like it is important to maybe listen to them on audiobooks, but slower. But with this one, I just absolutely love this series. I don't know what it is, it's just so addicting. And I couldn't tell you why it took me a year to read. Well, actually I could. It's because of how big the books were, but I honestly flew through them. The last book did take me a little bit longer, but that wasn't because I was enjoying it or anything like that. It was just because of me being busy for the past 2 days. Yep, that is my little update for now. Thank you all for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.